Sophie Hannah. Novelist Sophie Hannah raves about 4 Agatha Christie screen whodunits, available on Vintage Classics, ahead of the release of the new Murder on the Orient Express film. A new version of Murder on the Orient Express, directed by and starring Kenneth Branagh, will hit the big screen in November 2017, and speculation is intense. Lifelong Agatha Christie fans, like me, are desperate to see it, even though we know every inch of the plot by heart, because when it comes to our favorite author, we share a collector mentality. Other people, the unenlightened, are wondering if the world really needs yet another version of something that's already been done 3 times in English alone. Of course. It does, of course we do, and not only as fans. Just as a singer might want to sing Schubert's Die Skone Muller, and even though Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau made the definitive recording, so that they can put their own stamp on it, a new director will have a new vision for a new version. Offering one's own fresh interpretation of a classic work of art is a valid creative endeavor. When a story is as classic as Murder on the Orient Express, the artistic choices made by the director in each case enhances the canon. And, of course, we collectors collect the various whodunit characters, the Mrs. Hubbards and Cassettas, and, last but not at all least, the Hercule Poirots. The stars are out: David Niven, Peter Ustinov and Bette Davis in Death on the Nile credit alamy. We even collect Poirot moustaches. Kenneth Branagh's moustache, as unlike David Suchet's as it can be, is already the subject of passionate debate. In preparation for its release on the 10th of November, and frustrated not to be able to the new Murder on the Orient Express now, I decided to do a bit of preparation over summer. Studio Canal Vintage Classics has released remastered editions of 4 Agatha Christie feature films: Murder on the Orient Express 1974, Death on the Nile 1978, The Mirror Cracked 1980, and Evil Under the Sun 1982, so I availed myself of copies. I expected to find them old-fashioned, but they were an absolute joy too, and I highly recommend them as an aperitif before the new Murder on the Orient Express is released. Instead of one best Poirot, maybe we should see each new actor who plays him as a new layer to the eternal, enduring Poirot without exception. The sheer joyous exuberance, with star-studded casts: Elizabeth Taylor, Bette Davis, Ingrid Bergman, Lauren Bacall. There's a reason the first film's tagline was "The Who's Who of the Whodunit." Stunning sets and settings, and crisp, witty dialogue. Agatha Christie's stories are treated respectfully, and all the twists, denouements and revelations are rendered with appropriate amounts of grand guignol. These movies are great fun. At the same time, they show us the dangers of unhalted evil. In Murder on the Orient Express, with Albert Finney as Poirot, the emotional impact of the past crime which inspires the present one is devastating, while never depressing the viewer. Like Christie's novels, these movies deal with immense pain, warped minds and dark deeds without taking away from our pleasure, and the viewer has a wonderful experience, while learning about the darker sides of human nature. It's true that these movies, vibrant extravaganzas that they are, won't do much to make people take Agatha Christie more seriously as an analyst of our world and the human psyche. They have a frivolous, "this is such fun" air about them, and that is their dominant trait. But, like Agatha Christie's books, they are well-crafted, gripping, addictive productions that one can't help luxuriating in. Steaming in, Albert Finney plays Hercule Poirot with no little Viger credit Getty, while Finney is Poirot in Murder on the Orient Express. Peter Ustinov plays the role in Death on the Nile and Evil Under the Sun. There's a lot of talk in Agatha Christie fandom circles about who is the best Poirot. The consensus seems to point to David Suchet. There's also a lot of speculation over how Kenneth Branagh will play the role. I love Suchet's Poirot, but having aired these classic versions of Murder on the Orient Express, Evil Under Sun and Death on the Nile, I find myself now also thinking of Ustinov and Finney as excellent Poirots. I'm absolutely certain that Branagh, an actor I adore, will be a great Poirot, too. Watching these films, alongside the brilliant trailer for the forthcoming Hollywood movie, I found myself thinking that we Agatha Christie fans might have had the wrong approach all along. Instead of one best Poirot, maybe we should see each new actor who plays him as a new layer to the eternal, enduring Poirot, who grows stronger and more magnificent with each new star that plays him. If you're as impatient as I am for the new Murder on the Orient Express, I highly recommend these 4 delightful extravaganzas. They're perfect for ing with your feet up on a cozy autumn evening, a cup of tisane, Poirot's favorite refreshment, in your hand. The very best of British to celebrate the Vintage Classics collection. The Telegraph is producing a series of features focusing on these critically acclaimed, much-loved British films. Read all the articles at tgr.vintage classics. Vintage Classics is a celebration of iconic British movies in one stunning collection. All films have been digitally restored on DVD and Blu-ray, with fantastic brand new bonus material. Purchase Loot and Entertaining Mr. Sloan on DVD and Blu-ray, browse and buy from the Vintage Classics collection at Amazon, and find out more at Vintage Classics on Facebook.